Okay. Two people. Oh, hi.
Hey.
Welcome to our first ever live stream. We have 43 people here. That's so cool. I'm Elliot.
And I'm Hannah.
27 years old.
And I'm 26 for now.
And so we're going to try to structure this live stream a little bit. We're going to first introduce ourselves and our fur babies, and then we'll tell a little story, our background, how we met, a little about our experiences, and then we'll kind of open up the floor to all your questions, whatever you have to ask. Okay, right. So right behind us is Boo Boo.
He's our first fur baby.
Yeah. Boo Boo is a big, big boy.
His name is actually Ninja Kitty Boo Boo. Elliot couldn't decide, so he got all three.
And we got Boo Boo actually. My oldest cat, his name was Hansel, had him for 22 years nearly, passed away. And my friend found a cat on the street, and he knew that I was mourning a cat, and he offered it to me, and I was like, sure. And Boo Boo's been through all the moves, all the crazy transitions in our life. He's the OG. And yeah.
We let him think he's boss.
Special part of my heart. And next one up. Dun, 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 dun. Our newest edition, actually, no, our newest kitty edition.
This is Edgar.
Edgar's probably the most cuddly and
independent.
Yeah.
He's only a little over a year old, and we call him our fluff nugget.
Tell them how we got Edgar.
Oh, I went to the pet store to get food for our other cats, and as I was waiting for Elliot to come back from the hardware store, and I was just looking at him in the cage because he was so fluffy and cute, only 10 weeks old. As Elliot walked through the pet store door, the lady who worked there was like, "Oh, you could take him out." And I was like, "No." Anyway, we brought him home that night after the papers got approved.
Yeah. So anyways,
the rest is history.
You're usually so much more detailed.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. All right. Well, bear with us, guys. It's our first ever live stream. Basically, I was in the hardware store looking for, I don't know, whatever. And Hannah was getting food for our cats. I go meet her there, and right by the door was this cage with this little cute face. And Hannah was just about to pull him out of the cage, and I held him, and it was it. We're like, we'll take him right now. And yeah, that's Edgar.
Where's Phoebe?
And next one up.
My personal baby. She's the only other girl in the house, so we gotta stay strong together.
Tell them the story about Phoebe.
So at the time, I was living in Toronto in a basement apartment. Not recommended. It's a little sad. And so I decided to get a cat to keep me company. And we went to the store, and Ellie's dad made me nervous because he's like, cats are big commitments. You could have them for 20 years. So I had a moment of panic, and we left and then came back, and we brought her home when she was about 6 months old. And she slept with me every single night as my little fur pillow. She sometimes still does that, but
tell them how she got lost in a wall for a bit.
I had put her litter box in the what do you call that? The mechanical room in the house, because it was in my apartment, and my apartment was carpeted, so it was really the only place I had. But there was a small opening in the end of the wall, and she managed to climb all the way through the wall, like halfway around the apartment, and I just heard these like sad little meows coming, and I couldn't find her, so
So she called me panicking. Where was I? I was at work or something.
Yeah.
And she's like crying on the phone, like, Phoebe's stuck in the wall. What do I do?
Tore all the ceiling things out and eventually started cutting holes in the wall.
Yeah. So we had to cut a hole in the drywall and lure her out with treats. She was safe, not unharmed. Yeah. So that's Phoebe, everyone. And then our newest addition, you guys are probably all very familiar with him. He's our biggest boy, Come on, Wally. Yeah, what's this? Come, Wally. You want a treat? Come. What's this?
Let's see.
What's this, Wally? Come.
Come on, baby.
Come. Yeah.
Hello.
Come. Say hi to everyone. Yeah, good boy. Good
I don't know
boy.
if you can lift him anymore.
Yeah, he likes being left. Oh,
Oh my goodness. Who's that?
there you go.
This is Wally. He will be 11 months old this month. And some of you had asked before on our Instagram, he's a mixed breed. And his dad was a purebred red retriever, and his mom was a combination of a lab and a walker hound. So when we got him, we weren't really sure what he was going to turn out to be like. And so far, he's perfect.
Yeah, he's almost like, how many, 75 pounds
I would say
now?
he's between 70 and 75 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a big suck.
And how did we get Wally?
Well, we decided we wanted a dog because Elliot is working from home, so it was a good time to have one and train him. And we originally wanted to adopt a dog from the shelter.
And we tried really hard, but it's a little difficult because
Of the cats.
yeah, we wanted a puppy because we have 3 cats that need to transition.
And none of the cats had ever been around dogs before, so we didn't really know how it would all pan out. So bringing in a smaller dog that was kind of the same size, they could integrate into each other a little easier. So eventually, after hours and searching.
Well, yeah, we like applied for all these kind of applications for adoptions, but puppies for adoption are like so hard to get. Like each puppy that was listed got maybe like thousands of applications the same day. So there's a lot of competition. It was hard. And we went on Kijiji, kind of Canada's local Craigslist, and we found a golden retriever breeder.
Dealer.
Yeah. So we were like, yeah, golden retrievers are super cute. We like them.
So I called and she started asking me like, oh, do you want a cream one? Do you want golden? Do you want red? I'm like, I don't really care. We just want a nice family dog. She's like, well, we've got this accident litter. I'm like, perfect. We'll come tomorrow.
Yeah. So like Wally's breed was half the price, and we wanted a mutt from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's just like everything worked out. And why did we pick Wally?
Wally has a little white tip on the end of his tail, and my family dog, the only family dog that I had growing up, also had a white tip. So it was kind of a sign for me.
Yeah. So those are the stories of our babies, and now the stories about us. But before then, we're going to play a game to win stickers. Yay! We have stickers that I can't get to light nicely, but they're nice. Okay.
You can see it on Instagram too. You posted a photo.
Yeah. So we have tons of stickers, and we have nice postcards, and we'll send you those. So first game we're gonna play is guess that number. So we're gonna have how many winners? Let's say 5. 5 winners right now, and I'll take 2. You take 3. We're gonna just write 5 numbers out of 1 to 100. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. And okay. Dun, 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 dun.
I thought you said 5 numbers.
No.
Oh.
3 for you, 2 for me.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, come on. Everyone's guessing.
Okay.
No, we're going too fast. 1 to 100, people. We have 22, and we have 3.
9, 12, and 99.
Okay, shit. You're moving too fast. I can't follow these numbers.
I told you this would be hard.
Okay.
You guys are blowing up.
I'm sorry. This was the worst game.
Wait, we'll go to the top.
Okay, yeah. First, we're going to look
Oh,
down.
12. Taylor Knuckles.
Yeah, Taylor Knuckles. Yeah, whoever wins, email us, and we're going to send you guys stickers.
We're going to have like 500 emails.
And postcards. Really nice nice stuff.
Wait.
22, 3, so we have, Jeanette. And, okay, we're going to look through this after, and we're going to find all your names. We're going to keep moving this along. thank you so much for everyone guessing, and whoever won, awesome. There's whoever didn't win, we're gonna play lots more games to win more stickers. I think we have like 200 of them.
Yeah, sorry that was a little disorganized.
We have lots of stickers. We're gonna play better games, hopefully.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right. So I guess a little bit about us. If you missed it in the beginning, I'm Hannah. This is Elliot, and we are in Nova Scotia, Canada. Do you want to tell them the story of how we met?
Okay, no. Let's rewind a little bit more. Okay. We're gonna talk very broadly about our story, and then if you guys want a little more specifics, again, we're gonna open up the floor to all your questions. So, a little about me. Okay, I don't know. This is tough. Where do I start? After high school, actually, no. We'll start in high school. In high school, I was actually gonna apply for like business school. I had all my classes, business classes. I was doing entrepreneur and accounting and marketing and stuff like that. And then I was also taking this class called tech design, which.
Sorry, I'm just reading. I was born as a little boy.
So I was taking this tech design class, and they have it was a pretty awesome class. We got to design things on AutoCAD and make a floor plan of a house and actually build the house out of like popsicle sticks, almost like structurally sound. And I like halfway through grade 12, I had like a change of heart. I was like, damn, I really enjoy going to these tech design classes and designing. Business, like I enjoy it, but like not so much. And then I stopped what I was doing, talked to like the guidance counselor, dropped a whole bunch of courses, applied for like night class in physics, and got all my classes sorted out to apply for architecture. And then in grade 12, still that year, I did really good in the tech design class. Like we still have these scale models of this like house, like all to code. It's a pretty neat project. And then I made a portfolio, and like always, like growing up, I was pretty handy. My dad's pretty handy, and so I've always liked to build things and like to do stuff with my hands. Not that I have much experience construction wise, but just like handy little things around the house. So where was I?
I don't know. You're never this detailed.
So I applied for architecture. Turns out I had a good portfolio and I got accepted, one of like the earlier acceptance. And then I studied architecture for the 5 years. I actually took an extra year, 5 years, and then graduated architecture. But like during architecture it's like, it was almost like a love-hate relationship with it. I loved it because I enjoy designing and I enjoy building. But kind of when you get down to the nitty and gritty of architecture and design related jobs, it's
not as fun.
Yeah. So I didn't see myself becoming an architect, but I knew I wanted to do something design related. And always in life, I kind of go with the flow, and things usually work out. But this time, like after graduating university, I kind of felt like the societal pressures, like you get a job right after university. This is like the step-by-step things that you do. You go to school, then you get a job. So I got a job in architecture, and I worked there I worked for free as an intern for like 3 months. And during that time, I was commuting we were living in Toronto at that time. Yeah. Sorry, we went to university in Toronto. And so I lived in the suburbs. So I lived like about an hour to like an hour and a half commute with subways and buses. And then the weird thing about the bus system and subway system in Toronto is like where I was living was a little bit of the outskirts of Toronto. So you have to take like the local bus, which is one fare. And then once you get in Toronto, you have to pay another fare for the city bus. So I was paying like double the fare, and I was commuting hour and a half each way. And then and then I was working this job. I really enjoyed it at first because I was doing really interesting design related stuff, and designed and got these beautiful legs casted out of bronze, and awesome, really cool projects. I'll go a little more in detail if people are interested. But then eventually I got hired after the 3 months working for free. I got hired by the guy, and he gave me this really substantial architectural related project. Basically, he had an architect hired, and then when I came on, he's like, you could do this work good enough. We'll just drop the whole project on you, and you'll kind of figure it out. I don't shy away from big projects, but it was a lot. I had to do like full construction detail, document sets for this historically renovated home, and we're doing a massive gut job and like very specific design wise. So he saved a lot of money hiring me as opposed to an architect, but it was like I had no experience in this stuff, and there was a lot of pressure put on me. And
he doesn't like pressure.
No, I like pressure, but I mean,
not for me.
There was a lot of pressure on me, and it wasn't just like the greatest situation. And like I thought I was fairly successful, but me and the guy kind of butted heads a little bit, and I ended up getting fired. And then what was that? Oh yeah, and then I was kind of like in a transition period, kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. Oh, sorry, Tim. Awesome. Thanks for the super chat. Back to the story.
You got fired.
I got fired. And then I was kind of in a transitional moment, and then not sure what I wanted to do with my life, but I was working on a portfolio, and I had a really good portfolio, I think. And this movie company found my portfolio on like LinkedIn or something, and they contacted me. And so then I got jobbed at like this movie studio company that makes props for films, like really awesome props, like super detailed things. So that was a really good job off the get-go. Again, I was super excited about it, first because they valued me and they really liked my portfolio, and secondly because I got to do really interesting design related stuff that I actually could see on TV. So that was a neat feeling. But then eventually, like, it was kind of like a designer fabricator position. And when I got hired, I like a balance of things, but when there's too much of one thing, I don't like that. I'm kind of sporadic.
You need to like jump around from thing to thing, and then everything gets done.
Yeah. So, but then the job kind of like, it was even a playing field design and fabrication when it started, but eventually it was just like a lot of fabrication. There wasn't much design work, and they didn't have the most suitable like safety standards. And so I don't know, one day I woke up and I was just like, you know what, this is not for me. I don't know, I just like a weird feeling in the morning, like one day after like really hard time, I was like, enough. If you guys want more details, I could go into it later when we open up to the floor for questions. But and then I quit my job, and then I was trying to figure out again what I wanted to do. I was in this transitional period, and watched a lot of YouTube.
Annoyingly a lot.
Like almost like everything I know could be granted to YouTube. It's awesome. Thank you, Taylor, for the super chat. Really cool guy.
He's getting a sticker too. He won.
Oh, okay.
That's why he always gets his 12.
So, damn it, I always lose my train of thought.
I forget.
Are you listening to me?
I've been reading the chat.
Okay, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah.
Awesome.
Great name. And you spell it with an H on the end too, which is awesome.
Where was I? Oh yeah, transitional period. So I quit, and it was a weird time in my life because a whole bunch of reasons. But I didn't have a job at that moment, and Hannah was like also in this transitional period. She'll get to her story soon, and
Yes, I do occasionally get slapped in the face by flapping hands.
Oh.
Or when he stands like this, I get elbows in the face too.
Okay, read the question when you answer it, so people know. But
Well, that was self-explanatory.
okay. Damn it.
You're going on.
So yeah, this was supposed to be broad. I don't know how I got so detailed. This never
Usually
happens.
it's the other way around.
Never happens. You guys are lucky. So I was transitional moment of my life, watching a lot of YouTube, and then I got this great crazy job opportunity again. My friend, he was like this super wizard marketer, entrepreneur dude. Love that guy.
Wait. Before this is like just after we decided to move to Nova Scotia. You got this job opportunity.
Yeah. So okay, I'm jumping around again. So, anyways, in my transitional moment of my life after quitting my job, we were trying to figure out our life together and like where we wanted to be and what we wanted to do, and we were having those tough conversations. And then Hannah will get to her story, but we weren't feeling the greatest in Toronto, basically. Hannah's originally from Nova Scotia, and she really wanted to move back.
All my family's here.
And, you know, I just quit my job. There was nothing really planting me and grounding me in Toronto. So I was open for anything. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Damn right. We're going to move to Nova Scotia end of the month. And then my friend gave me this super opportunity because of the Fort McMurray wildfires. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but a year and a half ago, Canada had like the biggest financial natural disaster, which was the Fort McMurray wildfires. Pretty much like a massive wildfire in like a very rural oil town in Alberta, northern Alberta, Canada. And it's an oil town, so it's huge. There's a lot of people. And my friend has a restoration company, and he knew that I was I was unemployed, and he knew that I was pretty good with people and pretty competent person, I would say. So him, myself, and this other guy ran a fire restoration company in Fort McMurray. And initially we were just going to go there for like a month, knock out a couple jobs, have a good payout, and walk away. But then when we went there, everything was just so lucrative. You could just never guess. And we did like a really exceptional job. We weren't working for like insurance companies. Like this opened my whole eyes on like a lot of things. But okay. I keep going into detail.
Yeah, I know.
Broad.
It's so weird.
So anyways, I worked at Fort McMurray as a fire restoration person. I was just kind of the project manager overseeing all these jobs. And initially we were supposed to go for 1 month. Everything was so lucrative and crazy and a lot of opportunity that we ended up staying 6 months. So I was away from Hannah in the middle of our like most transitional moment of our life, where we're just like uprooting our everything and moving provinces. So Hannah was like quitting her jobs.
You end your story there, then we'll catch back up to that.
Okay, so I worked in Fort McMurray 6 months, then came to Nova Scotia where I met Hannah. And
okay, everyone wants to know how we actually met. We didn't meet here when we moved here. So let's talk about me for a little bit, and then she's got it organized.
I'm a little sporadic, I told you.
We'll see.
Okay.
So I was born as a little girl, but I guess we kind of started at high school. So in high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Everyone seemed to have their life planned out. Then the school had a job fair, kind of university meet and greet thing, and I got speaking to somebody who suggested interior design. She kept asking me what I liked, and I was really into scrapbooking and that kind of stuff. So she asked me if I'd ever thought about it, and it hadn't crossed my mind at all. Anyway, so I applied to Ryerson, which is the closest university to Nova Scotia. It's in Toronto, Ontario. It was the closest one to home that offered a degree in interior design. The next one was BC. So I applied last minute, unlike Elliot, very last minute, and there was a 1 in 9 chance of getting in. So I really had no idea where my life was going to take me, but I got in, and hi, good girl. Anyway, I did 4 years there, and I did not like Toronto at all, not from the moment I got there. I was 18 years old. I packed my entire life into 2 suitcases and moved right to downtown Toronto. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, so it was definitely a lifestyle change, culture shock, you name it. It took a long time to adjust, and it took me probably 5 years before I called it home, and I still caught myself when I said the word home. Anyway, thanks, Alan, Shayna.
Cool. Yeah.
So anyway, I finished my course, and I really loved it. It was a great program, but I found it didn't really give a true aspect to what interior design is in the real world. So after I graduated,
I feel like
I skipped it. Okay, so this is the point where we met. Okay, we met during my 4th year, his 5th year. My friends and her sister convinced us to go to the bar because it was the school pub and it was the only one she could get into on Thursday nights. So we decided to be the kind older ones and take her out. Anyway, my friend was having a horrible time. She took an hour convincing us to leave. So we're finally on our way out, and we run into this guy and his friends, and we're like, oh, let us guess, you're engineers, because there's always engineers there. Anyway, Elliot's like, no, architecture, actually. My friend heard, she's like, oh, well, I guess we could go back in. I'm like, are you kidding me? Anyway, we went back in and we chatted for a while till they shut the place down. And not because it closed, but because there was hooligans and they actually shut it down and kicked everyone out. And Elliot told me some lame owl joke. I don't even remember.
So bar was closing. Basically, me and my friend, we just finished like this huge studio project, and we were feeling great. We were feeling kick-ass that we, had this massive project off our shoulder, and we were like, we're going to celebrate. We're going to go to the bar. We go to the bar, and yeah.
If any of you know the Ram and the Rye.
Okay. We go to the bar, local student bar, and we see them, and I'm feeling all confident. I walk up to her and her friend. I'm like, hey guys, like, what's up? How is it inside? And Hannah explains. And then after, I'm like, she's pretty cute. After, when everyone was kind of dispersed and the bar was closing down, we were walking away and we were chatting. And since she was in interior design, and I knew actually a bunch of other girls in interior designs. I don't know how exactly, but I had this cheesy pickup line, but it was so smooth when I said it. But when I re-say it, it's not so smooth.
Yeah, I really wonder what I was thinking. But I gave him my real number, the only person I gave my real number to.
Yeah. And then so I got her number, and then I play it cool. Like, I'm not texting her right after, like, oh, it's great to meet you. But it was so guys, if you meet a girl, don't text after, call. That shows confidence. So after,
it's true.
I don't know how long I waited.
It was like 3 days, maybe.
It was just long enough for
me to get sick.
David, thank you so much. So it was just long enough where I'm still in mind, but like long enough where it's like I don't know what
it's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I call her
randomly in the middle of the day,
and I'm like, you know what, we should go out sometime. I have a good idea. Let's go skating. And so we go skating, and
no, I blew you off the first time because I was legitimately sick.
Oh yes.
So then I was like, I probably scared him. He thinks I'm lying, but I was actually sick. And then we rescheduled skating, and I was like religiously eating cough drops so I didn't die secretly.
So, and then I took her skating. Again, a good option for first dates are an activity, something cheap and something fun and something that is engaging. So
this isn't a dating program.
Oh, Jeremy, what's up? Thanks. So we went skating, and then skating went really fun. I'm a good skater.
I am too, coincidentally.
And then after the skating, we went to this coffee shop. And
Tim Hortons.
And then there was like this sketchy dude there. And then how did the sketchy dude come and play?
I don't really remember. Just made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah. So she was uncomfortable, so she gets closer to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll keep you safe.
Planted
sure.
him there.
Yeah. And then after skating and after Tim Hortons, we were walking back to university, and then we're talking, and then I'm feeling all confident again, so I'm like, I'll go for a kiss.
Was it the same date?
That was the same date, first date. And then I go try to. Oh, what did I say? I have this special move.
Clearly, he's been out of practice for a while. Anyway, it went a little something like this.
I'll remember soon. But yeah, I tried to go for a kiss, and she just like pushed my face away, and I was like,
I panicked.
I was kind of taken back, but that's never happened to me before, so I was kind of intrigued at the same time. And then the second date, another fun activity, I asked her to come to the architecture studio, and play ping pong. And then we had like a couple of fun games of ping pong. And then to just throw her off this date, I didn't make any moves. Not one.
I was like, oh, he learned.
And then there was a third date, and then obviously more to come.
The rest is history.
And, yeah.
You're going to take me on a date? Come. So we've been together now going on 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. It'll be 5 years this summer.
Something like that.
No, exactly like that.
So that's the story of a little bit about us. Oh no, you're jumping.
Yeah,
again.
Because you skipped over that part and continued your lengthy story. So I caught my story up to that part, and now continue. So I met Elliot. After I graduated, I had zero intentions of staying in Toronto. I was coming home. Anyway, at that time, I also didn't really know where we stood because we met in about January of fourth year, and he didn't really like ask me out. So I was like, I don't know if we're dating. Like, are we a thing? Are we not a thing? Like, everyone was calling us boyfriend and girlfriend, but I really had zero clue. So this was like March-ish. Everyone thought we were official. Then I went home after I graduated for a couple weeks, and I didn't really know where we stood or what I was doing. So I started applying for jobs both in Toronto and in Halifax, and just to see where things would take me. Anyway, Elliot had invited me to go to a wedding with him. So I intended to come back to the wedding and then, again, see where things went. And it just happened that I got a job interview, which I did over Skype while I was home. And I started the following weekend after the wedding. So at the wedding, Elliot officially asked me to be his girlfriend.
And how did I do it?
He got down on one knee.
I'm such a romantic.
Anyway.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying wedding.
Not our wedding. It was a friend's wedding. And then that's when he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Maybe down the line. We're technically common law, so I don't know if there's much difference.
A little bit, but not much.
But yeah.
Anyway, so then I was like, okay, I have an official boyfriend and I have a job. This is great. I just need to find a place to live. So I was couch surfing for a while. I stayed with him for a while. I stayed with a friend and then another friend after he moved home with his parents. And anyway, then after that, I got my apartment, got Phoebe, and then the job was not what I intended. It was a small interior design firm, and I loved the people I worked with. They're all fantastic. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are. But it just didn't work out, and they ended up letting me go as well, which was kind of a hard thing for me to absorb.
Get a little into the nitty gritty, a little more detail. It wasn't the best fit for Hannah. And a lot of times she was coming home very stressed and
extremely like I wanting to throw up
and just like breaking
crying
down through the pressure. and Hannah's like too hard-headed to like, I'm saying like to her, this is not healthy for you. This is not good. She comes home crying out of stress.
Like
and
at this point, I just like poured all of my money into one basket in university, spent 4 years of my life like planning to this moment, and it wasn't working out for me. And I was just I was a mess. I was having a quarter life crisis, and Elliot had been telling me to quit for weeks and weeks prior to that. And it just got to a breaking point, and it was kind of mutual too. Like they knew it wasn't working. I knew what isn't working. It's not what I wanted. Cause again, I am pretty stubborn and tried to push through it. And it just, sometimes you gotta stop. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. So after that, after interior design, her getting fired, again, we were both like kind of.
No, you were still working.
Oh, I
so
was.
I started serving in a restaurant and instantly
No, but after you were kind of like, again, trying to figure out what you wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, again, after getting let go, Hannah's very like, I don't know, hard-headed or what it is, but she was so committed in interior design that she couldn't really see out of that spectrum. And I proposed the idea of like kind of like a transitional job, kind of like put it behind you for a little, like get back on your feet, feel good about something, and then we'll go from there to see what the future brings. So I thought she was a good fit for serving because she's bubbly, she's attentive, and just I think a good fit for that. And so she started applying for serving jobs.
Yeah. So then at one point I was working at 3 different places at the same time. Then I limited down to myself down to 2. And then I got stuck there for 3 years. And
so what was supposed to be a transitional job, kind of like,
you just make such good money serving in Toronto. So, and I would also recommend it to everyone just to have an idea of what it's like to be on the other side of the table. But anyway, it was good. I made a lot of good money serving in Toronto, and made a lot of good friends as well.
Yeah, that's the important part.
I personally felt like it was kind of a dead-end job. I really got away from interior design, and everyone's asking me, oh, are you ever going to get back to that? What are your plans? And at this point, my confidence is like not there at all when it comes to interior design. So it just got to a point that I felt like I was in a dead end. I wasn't progressing myself in any way to go elsewhere with my life. So that's when Elliot and I really sat down and had the conversation of what we wanted to do, because he had just gotten fired. I was going to quit my job. So we decided to move home, my home. And then we just put in our notice to our apartment. We had to give 2 months notice. And then he got the offer to go out west, which couldn't really turn down. So he left in like, oh, no, you left in like an hour's notice.
Oh, yeah.
He called me at work, and it's like a holiday or something. He's like,
man.
I'm leaving in an hour. You have to come now. I'm like, I can't just leave.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was...
It came as a surprise, and we just kind of jumped on the opportunity. We're leaving right there. Anyways.
So they left, and then I was left to...
We're doing a really bad job. This is supposed to be broad, and then...
I know. You're the one who started the details.
All right.
Anyway.
So we get home. Or no, sorry. Go from the move. The move. Okay.
So I'll make this broad. Elliot left. I had 2 yard sales to sell our stuff. I got a 10-foot U-Haul van and packed our entire life and our 2 cats into it. I flew my brother to Toronto to drive back with me, and we drove in a U-Haul with 2 cats, not recommended. And then got here. My friends helped me unload. We went from a studio apartment to a 4-bedroom house, and we literally had nothing. And I sold our couch.
Yeah.
So literally nothing. Like I had my bed to stay on, and that was about it. And then slowly I started to collect some things, and Elliot came to visit me.
We're going to cut off right there.
Okay.
We're going to do more sticker games right now, and then we're going to get into your questions. I know we didn't really...
Let's just do some questions now. Games later.
Well, more stickers. Stickers for everyone.
Yeah, we're not going to run out of stickers.
Okay.
People want to ask questions.
Okay. All right. Let's go a little about the house. We didn't really explain the situation with the house. Basically, we'll talk about the farm.
Okay, so the house and the farm have been in my family for generations. It was my grandparents' home, which is what I always remembered it as. But then they needed a house that was a little bit better for them to grow old in, so they moved out. It became my parents' rental property, and it just happened that when we decided to come home, that nobody was living in it, and here we are.
All right, so basically, Hannah's parents has this house. It's a small part of a very large farm, and they were using it as a rental for a while, but then eventually became vacant. And
You're just reiterating what
oh,
I
I
just
know,
said.
but a little background. And then that was a convenient time when we were in our transition period back here. So they graciously offered to stay in the house. And then we get to the house, or Hannah gets to the house, kind of sets up. I meet her 5 months later. And then so here we are in this house. It hasn't been renovated since 1970s.
When my grandparents moved in.
And then when I got back from Fort McMurray after the fire restoration job, I was working part-time for a while, but I had a lot of spare time. And again, I kind of jump onto YouTube, very interested in learning DIY stuff. And I was watching all these channels and learning a ton. Like YouTube education pretty much. Anything that you want to know.
Anyway, curiosity got the best of us.
Well, we also wanted to improve our living situation.
Yeah. So we started peeling back the corner of the carpet in the living room to see what was underneath. Next thing we know, the whole carpet's gone and we have a big mess.
Yeah, and in that time, I was like, I was watching a lot of YouTube, and I figured, I'll try my hand at YouTube. I've never video before. I never used a camera really before, besides like just snap and shoot, and I never edited before. So we when we were starting this renovation with the minimal renovation experience that we had, I thought it would be interesting to document and possibly learn how to edit and post on YouTube to share our progress. So I just plopped it on a tripod, and Hannah had this like very basic point and shoot camera, and that along with like a cell phone, like made like that was the first renovation video of the living room, and I edited that on iMovie, and I kind of just learned everything in the go. And so that's a little bit about editing.
A lot of you are asking if we bought the house. We did not, because it's been in the family.
So this is a kind of an interesting situation, and it's a very unique, and we're very lucky in a sense, and fortunate. So yeah, right now we kind of had like an unspoken agreement with Hannah's parents. So they were just so gracious enough to offer the house, and we're staying here rent free. So we have we're in a great opportunity to save a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And I figured, like, yeah, that they're doing this really nice, great gesture for us in our transitional period. It would be like, one hand rubs the other. It's like, not to be a mooch or like a leech. I figured, like, let's return the favor in some way. So improving the house and building up on it is one way to do that. So like that's kind of the birth of the restoration too, because restoration is very cheap. It's very little money involved, but it's just a ton of work. It's just substitute money for labor. So all our restorations are very, very little money, like hundreds of dollars, but the transformation is incredible, which just like a lot of elbow grease, essentially.
A lot of elbow grease.
Yeah,
a lot of back-breaking work, sanding and sanding some more.
And then when we post our first video, I posted on Reddit too, and it again, kind of luck has it that one of the videos really took off on Reddit, and then overnight I got like, I think like 800 subscribers, something like to really jumpstart my channel. And I was like, holy crap, like that's like, I didn't expect that. That's really cool. And all these like supportive comments come in. It's like, wow,
And
you're so great.
He loves statistics. Like, he's coming to me like, look at this. This many people watched it for this long and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, cool.
Anyways, it got me super excited about it. And then I figured, like, yeah, everything kind of carved its own path. It's almost like a little weird, like just kind of going with the flow.
Mhm.
And again, like, I attribute a lot of this channel to kind of luck and a lot of helping hands and like a lot of hard work. But yeah, sorry, the cats want to go outside. So because now I got lost train of thought again.
Sorry.
Where was I?
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, so we got really lucky off Reddit, and one of the channel, or the first video, got really popular. And again, I was kind of in another transitional moment of my life. I was working only part-time, wasn't working much, so I figured, yeah, I'll just pay more attention to YouTube and try to build something out of it. And yeah, just here we are.
Yeah, okay, let's answer some questions. Yeah, see, Brian said just let her talk.
I know. Sorry, guys. I'm no good at this. Darn.
Okay. Walmart. Where you got the t-shirt? Walmart. I thought it was a perfect fit.
Our favorite rooms and why. That's a good one.
Okay. Well, let's start with my least favorite room to do so far, and that would be the kitchen. Because it's been long and treacherous.
So a lot of you guys don't know. Sorry, I fucking so bad.
The kitchen is the hardest place to renovate because it's the one place you have to continue to use while you're renovating. So we started it in September. It's now April, and it's still not done yet. But
so the kitchen's a whole ordeal, but a lot of you guys don't know, we actually hosted international students, 2 teenage boys, for 5 months during all these renovations. And that was kind of like a learning and like just a whole experience on its own. Yeah. But pretty much with the kitchen renos, there was a lot of complications with that, because not complications, just difficulties, the intricacies of home renos with a house of 4 people using a kitchen is not the best. Wow, Miss B, thank you very much. So let's ask some more questions. Yeah, if you guys miss, we are 27 and 26.
So our favorite room, I think it has to be the living room. It was the first one we did, and it was the first one that, well, I personally think that we've seen a transformation, and it's a room we spend a lot of time in because it has the dining room attached as well. And it just it has a really cozy feel to it. Yeah. And we have elements that we pull, like the deer head. I don't know if you've guys seen the video for that, but it has elements from the house within it as well. And as far as saying the kitchen is my least favorite, not aesthetically, just in the amount of work that needs to go into the kitchen. But yeah, the living room was the first one that we really did, and we kept a lot of the original features too, like the chimney. We kept the old the light fixture and stuff as well. So it's just super cozy.
What's our least favorite project?
I already said the kitchen.
Well, it's not done. And the kitchen's awesome, and you're just talking about like the outcome.
Aesthetically, the one that I really don't like is the hallway. Sanding the stairs was a pain. Like, if you can avoid sanding stairs, recommend it. It did turn out nice. Yeah. I also really hate the paint color, so we're gonna redo that. Sorry. Yeah. So there's a lot of like, I apologize, but also not apologize at the same time, is that a lot of our videos kind of gloss over a lot of these home renos, but in reality, it's a little more dirty and a little more convoluted sometimes. So, as in, like, yeah, what's a mess up recently? I don't know. We bicker sometimes. We We
I
had
make
an argument before this video, actually.
I make a lot of mistakes.
As do I.
And I often don't show that. Maybe sometimes I should, but
He just likes showing me being grumpy at him, so it makes me look bad.
no, but I just want to get it out there that it's not all sunshine and roses in home renos.
Definitely not.
So,
it's very trying sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, it's all about a battle of persistence. And a lot of what I've been doing is I have no prior experience. I learn everything on the go. A lot, like a lot. Much of what you see on these videos we've never done before. So you're kind of, there's always a barrier of entry essentially. So, and then there's always those like beginner mistakes. And so I'll like screw up a lot. Like I'll make cuts like 5-10 times and then still screw it up somehow.
Measure twice, cut 3 times.
and then it's just, it's a lot about persistence, and don't get too hard on yourself, I would say, because like mistakes are expected and mistakes are a learning experience. So the best thing to do after a mistake is kind of rationalize where you went wrong, and then usually the next time is
right.
You get
so speaking of next time, after we get the kitchen finished, we're gonna quickly do the laundry room. It's gonna be a quick one.
Nothing's quick.
It'll be quicker, but we're just gonna do the floors, walls, add some hooks, refinish the cabinets. It's a tiny room, so I suspect it'll be quick. Anyway, then what we have left of the house is the master bedroom and the bathroom, and other small projects. But I think we'll do the master bedroom next, which will be a full gut job. So stay tuned for that.
Well, build a little more hype. These are huge projects. Pretty much we left
Neil.
Awesome. Pretty much we left the biggest and most exciting ones for last, minus the laundry room. Laundry room will be a quick one. The kitchen is still in the progress. We're just having a hard time choosing backsplash. Like
so hard. We found one and then we changed our mind.
Yeah, just too many options. But we're gonna get there. We're in the progress of making a butcher block counter and a lot of other interesting ideas for the kitchen. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of design related things. So the house is, what would you say, like 50% done, maybe?
A little more than 50, but not anywhere close.
Pretty much, don't worry. There are endless projects to do on the house, and then we could even come up with more ideas on top of those. And like we haven't even gone outside yet, so like decks and sheds and walkways and gardens and
one thing at a time.
Awesome things. So what we have kind of left on the main house is we have the laundry room, obviously finishing the kitchen, and then we have the washroom. But the washroom and the master bedroom are full gut jobs. So like we're gonna be probably building dormers and redesigning the space. Pretty grand. So
and thanks to David Prater and Mr. Fotoka.
Yeah, very cool guys. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really, really, really kind.
Okay, coolest historical thing you found whilst renovating.
Oh yeah, we in one of the bedrooms there was like a crack in between the floors, floor boards, and I saw like a little shimmer with light reflecting across it. So I like makeshift this hanger hook thingy. And like
fishing.
Yeah, go fishing with my face like pressed up against the cracks to see what and I pulled out 2 necklaces, like one gold and silver one. So that was pretty cool. Found a lot of, what else?
We found like a little like nail file or something. But my grandparents told me when they renovated the house, the guy who lived here before them must have been an alcoholic or something, because when they opened up the walls, they found all kinds of alcohol bottles.
So, sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name. Very Ushka. If you guys have a question, super chat will bump it
boost
up
it.
to the top and we could see it. So that's very cool. So he
Wow.
asked, or she, sorry, what are your plans to do with YouTube after you're done with the renovations? Love from USA and Russia. Also, what do your parents think of the new house? So
Okay.
our plans to do with YouTube after we are done renovations.
We'll find a new
We're never going to be
project.
done renovations.
Don't you know how renovations work? They don't end ever.
And I have such amazing plans for like the house, or we have such amazing plans for the house and the barn. So the only complicated thing is, like we don't own it. So we're gonna have to figure out like logistically of how my plans are gonna fit into everything else. But
Yeah.
I don't wanna spill the beans of like the grand scheme of everything, but essentially it's not gonna end. There's gonna be renos forever.
Don't worry, you're not getting rid of us that easy.
Yeah, and then
And my parents, they like the house. I think they let us think. They think like
so
the house.
Hannah's parents are absolutely wonderful. Like
My mom is an inspector,
Yeah.
not really, but she comes in and inspects things and asks us if we're gonna.
they are
do
just so incredibly supportive of us
Yeah.
and what we're doing in the house, and I think they love it. At least I haven't heard otherwise. So it's Hannah's father's childhood home. He actually grew up in one of these bedrooms, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot of sentimental value in this home. So I would like to believe that we're bringing new life to this house, and
They haven't
love it.
stopped us yet anyway, or kicked us out.
So how tall are you? I'm 6 feet. Hannah's 5 feet.
5 foot nothing.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
And Elliot, what's your occupation? YouTube is his occupation
So
now.
right now I am focusing on YouTube. So again, we and I are in a very fortunate situation where we are able to save money not paying rent on the house. But however, to compensate for that, we're doing a lot of the home renos, and I'm trying to focus on now on YouTube and build a business out of this. So I'm trying to figure out how to eventually monetize this channel to make money. And because right now it's looking like doing my taxes is not going to be nice. But
that's why you have me working.
Hannah is my sugar mama right now.
I have a cushy office job.
Yeah, Hannah works full time for the government, and she has
My own cake
an
decorating
aspiring
business.
cake decorating business. So we are pretty busy with busy and fortunate. Like kind of our situations complement each other. Like I'm able to, since I'm at home, I
work and I get a nice house.
Yeah. Okay.
I seen a question there. What does wabi sabi mean? I think that's a
okay.
good
Yeah, that's a good question. Wabi sabi. What does it mean, and where did it come from? Wabi sabi. So I'm actually maybe posting a video about it with a little more detail, but basically wabi sabi is an ancient Japanese philosophy that means finding beauty in imperfection. So it's something that I kind of came across. I'm not sure how. And basically it's like natural, like wear and tear and marks and scratches and like age is inevitable. Like it's going to happen. Like it's just natural essentially. So the decay of things, since it's natural, you have to look at it in a way where it's beautiful. Like, yeah, embrace it. So it really applies to why I use a lot of these reclaimed materials, is because like there's stories involved. It's sentimental. There's always significance to these materials with these marks and scratches. So that's kind of wabi sabi, and really resonated with me, and something that I applied to a lot in life.
My God, it's so hard to read when things keep moving.
Yeah. Okay. So someone asked a little about Patreon. We did start a Patreon. It's a way of supporting creators. You can make a monthly donation of whatever you want, and essentially we'll give you stuff. You get rewards in return. So it's a way, Patreon is a way that a lot of creators are kind of moving towards to kind of supplement their income. So we started that. I'm not one of a pushy one. I don't feel comfortable really soliciting that kind of stuff. So if you guys are comfortable with that and feel like you want to, sure, that's wonderful. Thank you. And there'll be good things in return.
Okay, so let's do a true and false question.
Oh yeah, so we have more games. Shit, we have lots of stickers to give away, and it's an hour. Okay, stickers.
You decide to be so detailed today.
I know. All right, we're gonna play a game of true and false. We're gonna tell you statements about ourselves, and we're gonna tell you, I think, 10 things. So wait till you answer until you hear the 10 questions.
Oh, you're gonna do 10 all at once?
Yeah, because it's just going to spam the comments.
Okay.
So wait.
Jennifer.
We learned from the first time. Wait till you hear all the questions and then write them out. Okay. We're going to play true or false.
Okay. Should we do you first or both? All of them?
All right. We're going to do me first. First question. Do I play guitar? Don't answer yet. Just kind of write it down and remember what you say, okay? Do I play guitar? True or false? Next question. Is Elliot a good skater? I answered that already. So if you listened before, you would know that answer. Wait again to answer. Write it down. Does Elliot like to mountain bike? Next question. Was Elliot a magician before? Did Elliot have a lifeguarding job before? Does Elliot cut his own hair? Has Elliot gone skydiving before? Does Elliot have 3 brothers? And was Elliot born in Barbados? Okay, so the way to answer is kind of do the answer, comma, answer, comma, answer, comma. Okay, so.
Yeah, Brittany, Arlene, you got the gist of it. All right, we'll come back and figure it out because you guys are blowing up like crazy.
All right, so now we're going to.
Shout out to Cindy. Hope you're feeling better soon.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to. Sorry it's moving so fast for us, but we're going to go back on the feed and find the winners, so don't worry. But let me answer them now. So do I play guitar? No, I don't. That is false. I do, however, play a didgeridoo. It's like this Australian native instrument, super cool. It makes like this whoa, 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 whoa kind of sound. And I do beatbox a little bit. Like that intro on our videos, that's me beatboxing. Oh yeah. So next question.
He usually makes all of the sound effects himself.
Yeah. So do I mountain bike? Yes, I do. That is true. Is Elliot a magician? Or was he a magician? Yes, that is true. I used to have a job as like a magic man for like kids' birthday parties. And I thought it was so cool in high school, showing all my friends and trying to pick up girls with magic, which doesn't really work.
It doesn't.
Was I a lifeguard? That is true again. I was a lifeguard before, and I also taught swimming before. I feel as though I'm quite a strong swimmer. Do I cut my hair? Yes, I do. I have cut my hair for since high school. Just pick it up and snip and go at it.
And all the time we've been together, he had his hair cut once by someone, and he complained about it for a very long time.
Yeah. So yes, I do cut my hair. Not very often, but this is my masterpiece. Elliot has never gone skydiving. That is false. I have gone skydiving. You
reworded that actually so that it was a true one. You have gone skydiving.
Yes, I have gone skydiving. And that I went skydiving in Australia, landed on a beach. It was absolutely incredible. I recommend it. Once in a lifetime experience. All right. Does Elliot have 3 brothers? That is false. I do not. I actually have 3 sisters.
And he's the baby.
I am the youngest and the only boy. And then, was Elliot born in Barbados? That is true. I was born in Barbados, moved to Canada when I was like around 3 or something.
Yeah. All right. Should we do mine now or wait? Answer a few more questions.
No, you can do yours.
All right. Are you guys ready for this? All right. Same thing. Just answer them all at once. All right. Did Hannah grow up in Ontario? Is Hannah a natural blonde? Is Hannah an only child? And did Hannah do gymnastics for many years? Is Hannah's favorite color blue? And Hannah cannot live without her lip chap. True or false? And does Hannah know how to surf? And Hannah is great at math. And is Hannah's favorite meal barbecue chicken with Caesar salad and potato salad?
Okay. So now you can answer them, I guess.
All right. Okay, so no, I did not grow up in Ontario. I grew up in Nova Scotia, and I am a natural blonde. I've never dyed my hair, not once, except for the stuff that washes out. I'm not an only child. I'm number 2 of 4, and I did gymnastics for 16 years growing up, which is great. And of course, my favorite color is blue, and I cannot live without my lip chap. I have it right here. And I don't know how to surf, but it's on my bucket list of things to learn. And growing up in Nova Scotia, I know it's kind of odd that I don't, but I don't. I'm terrible at math, like absolutely horrible. I'm more the art side of things. And yes, my favorite meal is barbecue chicken with Caesar salad and potato salad.
Yay, whoever won. We're going to
We'll
find
find
you
you.
after. Stickers. I want to give you all stickers somehow, but
We'll figure it out.
if you guys screw the games. If you guys really want a sticker, email us, send your address, and we're going to figure it out because, thank you. We never actually said this, but honestly, you guys are super awesome. We are super appreciative of every single one of you. Like the supportive comments are like
I come home every day and he's like, so-and-so said this nice thing about me and about us. And
honestly,
it's like an ego boost.
It's just so flattering and it's just so amazing to have you guys, and I can't appreciate you guys enough. You guys being hanging out with us, like getting to learn about us. I'm sorry that we can't learn about all of you guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully maybe sometime have a meetup, but if you guys want a sticker so bad, I'm sorry our games aren't the best. Like shit, I had way better envisioned this way better. But if you guys really want a sticker, just email me and send your address and we'll figure it out. We'll send it to you guys. We also have really nice postcards. Really nice postcards. We'll write you a nice letter too with some smiley faces.
Yeah. We should create an email address for you.
So to email us, you could either go on my YouTube right there, and if you click go down to about, there's you'll find my email there, or you could Instagram DM me. And guys, first of all, I'm available. If you guys have a question,
available for questions.
Yeah, available for
Back
questions.
off, ladies and men.
If you guys have questions, seriously, don't hesitate to message us. I love hearing from you guys, and the best way to probably message us is Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you're not following us on Instagram, get over there, check it out, because we do a lot of behind the scenes stuff and kind of keep you guys all up to date. And we're also trying to do that with Patreon. Again, Patreon will try to put a little more vlog style videos that will be exclusive to there.
I feel like we haven't answered a lot of questions.
Yeah,
We've just been
okay.
talking.
Damn.
So Elliot
Question.
has like progressively been collecting tools basically all his life. So it's not like we just went out and bought a whole bunch. Like every time he needs something, he goes and gets that specific tool, which seems like every time we have a project. So it just kind of all adds up eventually.
Yeah. So the CNC was just like, I've always been interested in digital fabrication, and I've worked with CNCs at my like prop studio company or old job. So as like they're just so versatile and they could do really cool things. And so I just like bit the bullet and bought like a desktop one that you assemble yourself. And I'm so happy I did. What else? Thanks, Zach.
Yeah,
Very
thank
cool.
you.
Guys, questions. Feed them out. How much did the CNC cost? I think it was like around. No, it's like it was expensive, guys. It's like $2,000 or something.
He told me 1,000.
Yeah, it hurts. It's a lot of money, but like it's also a good opportunity to maybe make a small business built around it. You can make products out of there, out of it. You could do a lot of things with a CNC. It's very, very cool tool. All good things are wild and free. That is true. And thank you so much. Love what you're doing. Great content. We are so kind. Thank you.
And we try to do them faster, but it's just us, mostly Elliot at the end of the day, doing the renos and the video editing. So it does all take time.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we only could do so much. We are busy and we do have lives.
Not much of ones, but we do have them.
As much as we love renovating, Hannah is like flat out with her cake business. And
I did see a question there earlier before about cakes. Elliot has decided to see if we can do a YouTube channel for my cake. So he did film me in the last cake that I made, if you've seen some of the Instagram stories. So stay tuned for that. I don't know when it's coming, but it is. And we'll see how that goes and whether it takes off or not.
Yeah. So I got open to this whole new world of like cake YouTubes, and they crush it. There's so much potential on cakes and YouTube. So maybe down the road, we'll give that a shot. Hannah makes awesome cakes, and I think I can make a cool video about it. So down the line, we'll keep you guys updated on that.
I'm primarily on Facebook, and it's just Hannah's Cake Designs if you want to check out some of the stuff I've done so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, more questions.
Any tips for living? Where'd you go? Living in the Maritimes. I'm going to be in Moncton for the entire summer. Any places to go and see on the weekends?
So what kind of tips are you talking about on living in the Maritimes?
I would recommend going to Prince Edward Island. It's a nice little day trip or couple day trip. You're in Moncton. That's probably like 5 or 6 hours from us. So we're in Nova Scotia. I got all kinds of
Happy birthday, Jennifer. Happy birthday to Jen. There you go.
Want me to say.
Let's see. What size pajama pants? I am maybe medium, maybe large sometimes. If you like to send me pajamas, that's cool. Thanks.
He lives in them.
Yeah. So why do I wear pajamas? That's a good question.
Because you don't leave the house and they're comfortable.
Yeah. Partially that, but like I like movement. I like freedom to spread, and pajama pants provide that opportunity. So yeah, it's comfortable to work in. That's pretty much basic. Holy, thanks, Joan.
Joanne. Taller-upus. Sorry.
Okay, let's go. More questions. Story behind Batman figurine. I love Batman. He's like my childhood, not role model, but like, I don't know. Like, just love Batman. And he was
I made him change his Batman shirt today because it was dirty.
Yeah, he's like just my first favorite toy that I can remember. And I love him. He's like probably one of the only sentimental items that I have. And yeah, I cherish the guy. Go Batman.
Okay. Smooth peanut butter all the way, Mason. All the way. If you want crunch, put it on some toast instead of bread.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Are we going to get a new fridge? Yes, probably down the line. Fridges are expensive.
Yeah.
Our fridge works right now. We would just be getting one for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah.
We could live without it. Why did we start YouTube? We kind of went through that in a previous question, but basically, it's just something that I wanted to try out. Made a video, randomly got successful. Thought that it's worth the time to put in the effort, and here we are.
Yeah, and Julie, you're right. Sarah does need a shout out. Thanks, Sarah.
All right, would we consider posting daily or weekly vlogs? That's something that came up more than once, and I think it's a yes. We will set up a PO box down the road, so Esther will keep you updated on that.
We should do that soon, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Where do you buy your decorations for the house? Anywhere and everywhere.
So where do we buy? We find them mostly.
Yeah, we find
So
some. We buy
that's
some.
found in the barn.
Like
that
basically
box.
everything on the shelf came out of the barn.
Yeah.
But we do check antique stores in the local area as well. And sometimes we just randomly come across good things in different stores like Wicker Emporium, Walmart.
Okay. Do we feel like do you guys feel like we're stretching this along, or like I don't know,
We've never done it before.
hour and 15 minutes? Wow, this flies by.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nadia. What recommendations can you share for a newbie who wants to try DIY?
Just give it a go.
So honestly, to start, I would recommend pick an easy project.
But easy is subjective.
Yeah, but first of all, any project, if you break it into steps, is easy. When you break it step by step basis, it feels very accomplishable. So that's all a recommendation. And also, I find if you want to just like hop into home renovations, I would suggest paint a room. Like paint is the cheapest and like the biggest bang for your buck that you could possibly do. And it's super easy. Anyone could do it. All that I would have to say is just take precautions. Like know that you're probably going to make a mistake and spill paint. So like just put down the protection. You don't want to have like that disaster situation.
Yeah.
So my recommendation again for just newbies, start off with an easy project and try painting. Painting is great.
Do you have a favorite YouTube channel to learn from? That's a good question, Jason.
Damn. It's so hard to
He has his
say.
regulars.
I have regulars, but honestly, I follow such a broad spectrum of YouTube, and oh man, thank you, Joanne. Again, Talurapus.
Anyway, your YouTube people you follow.
Yeah, so like recently, like I've tried to design a logo, my attempt at a logo. And so I would just like I follow relative or like related channels to whatever I'm doing at that time. Mm-hmm. I do have regulars like Samurai Carpenter. He's like one of the first ones that I follow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody said Homemade Modern. Yeah, I follow him. But the most recently that just comes to my mind is someone called Zimri Mayfield. If you guys are interested in like graphic design and logo design, I watched a lot of his videos and it really inspired me to create this logo for my own channel. So check him out.
All right. Do you play Xbox or anything like that?
No, sorry.
No.
We that kind of faded somehow. Not that we don't love video games. They're a lot of fun.
I like Nintendo 64 and only the racing games.
So I want to kind of talk a little bit of background of like editing. And so the way that I structure the videos and the way I edit is I think is a little unique, and a lot of that has to do with just like your own personality. So I try to include a lot of candid things and And what you guys may not realize is there's a lot of things auditory going on. And like picking a song is one of like the hardest steps of I find in editing because
and he likes to ask me, but I'm not very auditory whatsoever. So he'll like show me the video with one song and then she'll show me the video with the other song and I can't tell the difference.
yeah. So a lot of things that people may not realize with video editing is like, sound. Sound plays a huge role in a video experience. So that's why I try to include a lot of like sound effects and whooshes and bing bongs and whatever, and to create a fun video. And I try to break things up, so nothing feels like too dragged on. Just show enough of it. If you guys want to know a little more about editing details,
let us know.
Yeah.
What is your favorite movies and what is your favorite type of music? It's also a good question.
Yeah. Well, what shows have we been watching? That's an easier question.
We just have Netflix on television, so we tend to watch shows in our little bit of free time that we do have. We've just finished watching the Santa Clarita Diet, which is
that's a funny show.
And we also really like iZombie. Got a zombie trend going on.
And Mad Men. We watched through Mad Men.
And we did the whole Friends series, of course.
Friends, yeah. Can't go wrong
Classic.
with Friends. Yeah.
What else do we watch? I like my comedy romances. So I watched some Nashville and you can't really go wrong with the romance movie. And kind of like action movies. I don't do horror movies, so we don't watch a lot of those.
All right. I think it's time to cut it, guys. Hour and 20 minutes. We'll probably do more of these soon if you guys like it. I kind of like that we are able to engage and interact some way, and you could learn a little more about our personalities and who we are. So I think that's a good benefit with live stream. And again, so today was supposed to be a celebration for our 50,000 subscriber, but I had a little.
Oh, it's backwards.
Yeah, shoot.
Wow.
I got a little. I over projected and just missed it a little short. So we're gonna celebrate 49,793. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us on our live stream and meet us. I hope you learned a little about ourselves and our story, and I hope that we can inspire you guys. I just wanted to remind you that you don't hesitate if you guys want to ask us questions, or if you had a question that you really wanted us to answer and we missed it.
Yeah. Don't
be afraid to message us. Like we want to be all your friends. He
lives for that stuff.
And if you guys want stickers for everyone, just email us with your address and we'll get them out to you. And once again, wow, I'm humbled by just the response, and you guys,
you're amazing.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you guys on our next episode. I don't know when that's coming out yet, but it will be awesome.
Once we find a backsplash.
And we'll see you all there. And if you don't follow us already, follow us on Instagram, and you'll know all up to date what's going on. Yeah. So
that's it.
That's a wrap, guys.
And cut.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.